Okay, I'm starting kind of my series on cryptocurrencies that I like and that I follow, some that I invest in. All of them I eventually plan to invest in. However, I want to start with Proof of Weak Hands 3D. It is probably the most exciting. I wouldn't necessarily call it my favorite. I think it has the potential to be one of the bigger earners, but it's also one of the earliest, the most speculative, etc., etc. But it's the one that I'm currently paying attention to and putting money in. Proof of Weak Hands 3D, I'm excited about it, bar none. I am way early on this one, like way early on this one. This thing's not listed on exchanges. You probably don't know about Proof of Weak Hands 3D, but this is one cryptocurrency that I am excited by. Excuse me. So I want to talk to you about why I'm excited by it, and I also want to talk to you about why I think it's positioned to explode over the next 6 to 18 months. Now, with that being said, huge disclaimer. If you take investment advice from me, that would be foolish. Don't do that. That's retarded. Literally, don't do that. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm just a crypto enthusiast. I believe in this space. I love this space. I love talking about it. I like making YouTube videos about it. However, I have no credentials upon which you should take investment advice from me. With that being said, let me just explain what Proof of Weak Hands 3D is doing, what their goal is. And first of all, let me just say this. With any cryptocurrency, I think that you're following project that you like, that you're a part of, it's a good idea to be a part of the community. So if they have a Discord community, it's a pretty good community to be a part of. The developers in there, it's not too crazy. Like, you can go in there, there'll be 1 or 2 or 3 people chatting. The developers in there almost every day, and so it's good to be able to talk to the developer. There is active, development updates going on with this project. So I'm excited by where they're going. They call it a game, but I actually think that it's far more than that. So the way that it works, just so you know, and when I finish this video towards the end, I'll talk about why I think they're going to absolutely explode, in my opinion, in the next 6 to 18 months. First of all, Proof of Weak Hands 3D works this way. You buy the token with Ethereum. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. It's a dApp on the Ethereum blockchain, which just means that it's basically a software program, the way a software program may run on the internet. Imagine the cloud existing on the internet. I'm just trying to figure out an analogy that would be easy for a non-tech person to understand. That's basically, the Ethereum blockchain is like, is where this lives, if you will, if that makes any sense. Just like the cloud exists on the internet, this exists on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, Proof of Weak Hands 3D, the way that it works is you take Ethereum and you buy Proof of Weak Hands 3D tokens, and you buy them through the exchange. I'll show you. So this is the exchange, and you buy Ethereum. You use your MetaMask. I have a MetaMask wallet right here. You buy Ethereum, and then you use Ethereum. You put Ethereum in your MetaMask wallet, and you use Ethereum. You come here, you go to buy. You come here, you purchase how much Ethereum do you want to spend. Type a number to instantly see estimates. If you want, that would buy you approximately 98 tokens if you had 1 Ethereum to spend. Now, when you buy tokens, what happens is 10% of your Ethereum value is a fee. It's an exchange fee. Just like if you go to GDAX right now, or Coinbase. If you go to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, they're going to charge you like a 3% fee. Well, Proof of Weak Hands 3D charges a 10% fee to buy. When you go to sell, if I wanted to sell these 200 tokens, they would charge me a 10% fee to sell. So in most business model, that fee goes to the individuals. But in Proof of Weak Hands 3D, the fee goes to the community. So for every token that you own, it's a ratio of the total tokens. When someone sells tokens, you get your share of that fee. It's split it up. into micro percentages of P3D. Like right now, so far, since my last time that I've reinvested, which is what I normally do right here, I have gotten 0.7408 P3D. And you know, one P3D is probably, well, let's see. So my account right now is worth 1.6594 Ethereum. So $945 roughly. So what's that? $5-ish or so. One token's worth right now, $5-ish. So I need to buy more. That's what that means. So because I think it's going to go up. So let me go back. Sorry. Someone just bought some tokens. Okay, so you use Ethereum to buy the tokens, and then every time someone buys and sells, you get a percentage of that back. Now, this is very early stages. Why do I think this is a big deal? Well, I could potentially see life insurance, homeowners insurance, medical insurance, retirement plans running off of this concept, as long as at some point cryptocurrency stabilizes a little bit and it doesn't fluctuate and it's not crazy radical. Now, right now, we are in the very early stages of this. Will this ever become the quote-unquote new retirement account, new savings account? The odds are no. I mean, just based off of how early we are. But I also think that it has the potential to do that. And I believe that if it moves in that direction, then it could potentially become extremely valuable in the long run if people saw this as some sort, or technology like this. It may not be proof of we can't 3D, but a technology like this where you can have a fee, a 5% fee or a 10% fee like they have right now for all buys, sales, and transfers. And as long as you're holding the token, it's encouraging you to basically, that's what's called proof of weekends, powh3d, proof of weekends. Is encouraging to hold the tokens. Weekends are if you sell. Now, let me tell you why I think this is poised to just go through the freaking roof soon. There's a couple of projects coming out. They have, they're calling it powh3d. And basically they're creating a game to operate on top of P3D or in conjunction with P3D. So there's the Ethereum blockchain, and P3D exists on the Ethereum blockchain. What I've read and understood in the Discord is powh3d is going to exist. I don't know that it's going to be like on, I don't think it exists on P3D, but it kind of exists in conjunction with P3D. They'll be interrelated. The whole idea is it's going to be a game that people can partake in, and that game is going to add volatility in this space. Now, that's just interesting to see where it goes. And if it adds volatility and you know this price goes up and down, Ethereum goes up and down in the contract, it's going to create a lot more rewards. That may create more tension in the space, so be it. I think that might be a shorter term. I think that's a shorter term concept. I don't think that's a big picture. Now, the developers here aren't necessarily seeing the picture the way that I'm seeing it, by the way, which may not be a good sign long term. I see this revolutionizing the financial industry, and I don't know. I mean, I know they talk about that, but I don't know if they see it in that way. I'm not sure. Or this powh3d could just be an elaborate form of marketing to bring more attention to the space. Because I'm telling you, we are in this thing early, like so early. Like this is where money's either lost or absolute fortunes are made. We are in this thing so early. Like I think this is like Bitcoin below 50 cents. I think this is so early right now. Maybe Bitcoin at 10 cents. But the potential's there, and we know the potential in this space is huge. That's what they didn't know when Bitcoin was at 10 cents or 50 cents. Most of them did not think back then that it was ever going to sell for, you know, $10,000 of Bitcoin. If they would have thought that, they would have been selling their Bitcoin and giving them away to each other. If they'd realized they were giving away an asset worth $10,000 one day. So, but powh3d is coming out. That's one reason. There's several reasons I think this could go up. There's talk of a serious token, and, you know, I say the devs aren't talking about this being like a long-term savings account or self-insurance account that's earning dividends and gaining and maintaining a value. However, they do talk of a serious token, and they haven't talked about the intent of the serious token. They just said it would be something that would appeal more to a larger market. So they're looking at that coming. powh3d is supposed to come out pretty much any time. The Sirius token, there's not been a lot of talk on it, but just by the fact that they've mentioned it, I'm thinking sometime in the next year to 18 months probably for the Sirius token. The other thing that I think is with either one of those tokens coming out, more activity getting created in this space. Here's another reason why I think it can go up quite a bit. As activity if activity comes to the space really fast, and it's been kind of slow for the past couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, if activity floods back to this space and coverage floods back to this space through powh3d or through the development of this or the talk of this Sirius token, I believe that just the additional press coverage could create some buzz. I mean, a lot of people have already tried to rip off these types of contracts, but none of them are doing anything revolutionary with it. And if P3D doesn't do something revolutionary in the long run, somebody else with some experience and some development knowledge is actually going to develop something unique on this concept. And so I believe that the press coverage could also cause something to happen in this space. And I say the press coverage, whether it be YouTube, financial press, crypto press, I believe this could potentially get some press over the next year to 18 months. I do know that there are some talks and some product placement, emblem placement just going into movies and stuff, and that would create some curiosity as well. So that's, I think, the third or fourth reason why I think it could potentially go up. Here's another reason why. The other reason why, hang on, the other reason that I think that it could go up has to do with where the price currently is. I mean, this thing has been chilling right here, flat. Now, this is huge to me for two reasons. It tells me that the price has the ability to stabilize. And really and truly, this is a daily chart. You want the price to stabilize if it was ever going to be some sort of a like investment type of account or whatever. Some sort of, if you were going to use it as some form of self-insurance, then you would want this thing to be stable. And so I think that this is showing kind of a floor in the price anyway. And I think it's more likely to go up. Now, if powh3d for whatever reason comes out, and it's not what people think, it may sink a little lower. But I think this is showing that there's a lot of people that are wanting just to hold on to this token because they believe that something's coming, something could come big in this space with this whole smart contract, idea that they have. So the other thing is, this is the first coin, and this is my final reason why I think it could potentially have huge upside. Like I'm talking, 50, 100,000 more ETH in the contract. Like I could see a ton of Ethereum coming in this space. And the reason that I could see it is when people start seeing the potential of earning the rewards. You get rewards when the price is going down and when it's going up. What a lot of people, millennials especially, which are big investors in this space, and the old money is too old to understand the advantage of this space. They just know there's money being made, they're speculating. I actually think millennials tend to be a little bit more educated on the technology for the most part than any other age bracket. And what millennials don't understand the way about this space is the traditional stock market. There's articles out there that talk about, and I've read different numbers, but the total returns of the stock market over like the past 40 or 50 years, it's like 70% of the returns have come from dividends. Now the stock market only pays like, 1%, 2%, 3% a year in dividends. Well, there's days when there's a lot of movement that this has paid 1% up to 2 and 3% in certain days. So when the stock market has gained 70% of its dollar value from dividends in the market, and the market's only producing 1 to 3% a year in dividends, but it's been a steady production over time. I think when millennials realize the power of the rewards in the crypto space, which is very similar to a dividend in the financial space, when they realize the power of that, even if there is a game created, even if it does create the fluctuations, even if this doesn't become the stable, kind of steady eddy, which I think it would be phenomenal to be kind of a steady eddy income earner, slow rewards, slowly gaining value. That's just where I could see this thing becoming huge as some form of a long-term, emergency savings account if the price ever stabilized, retirement account, something like that. But when the millennials realized the power of true rewards, daily rewards, similar to dividends, and I think that we're still a year or two out for that. That's why I say 6 months to 18 months. I believe potentially, and this is the first thing in the crypto space that produces such great rewards outside of staking, outside of masternodes. This is one of the first things that ever produces your rewards. And when I think they see that, I do think there's potential there. So there's at least 5 reasons I've given that I believe Proof of Weekends 3D could be positioned to go to the moon. And it's one of the reasons why I'm going to buy some more, I think, this month. So I actually have a plan to buy a lot more. I've got an investment that I'm working on. It's unraveling, and if it ever finishes getting untangled, it's not as liquid as I wanted it to be. But I'm going to be, and when I say it's not as liquid, it's basically an offline investment, a private company that basically owes me back some money. And when I get that money back, it's basically like a business loan that's tied up in some assets. But when I get that back, I'm going to start putting larger amounts in here, and I'm just going to kind of do it consistently, maybe twice a month, 3 times a month, maybe every month. But I'm looking to start putting, hopefully at some point I'm going to be putting like $1,000 a month here, because I can see this thing going nuts eventually. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and you can watch me crash and my money burn. But it's just fun to be a part of this space. The potential is exciting. And I see people, people are just talking about Proof of Weekends 3D and P3D, and they just have the wrong concepts. I mean, people's looking fast money, fast in and out, pump and dump, blah, blah, blah. They're missing the technology behind this thing. They're missing their short-term mindset is causing them to potentially lose out on a long-term fortune. All right, this video has been long enough. I love this project, as you can tell. I'm going to be talking about some more projects I like coming up in other videos. Thank you so much for watching.